people of Schitt's Creek. Everybody else done got 20 years and Rollo got 5. That's why Rollo didn't want to take that 5 years at first. He was actually holding it down for his people. Right? I agree with you, Marcus. Like, nobody really is giving a shit about that, you know, like that. Like, people don't really care about that rat shit unless it's that, like when you're saying, oh, that dude who was actually the executive vice president's secretary snitched, so I'm not messing with that label whatsoever. The vice chairman's secretary's assistant was a rat. Didn't know he was a rat. He got a little gig up here at that label making $500 a week. I ain't signing to the label for $4 million. They endorse rats. Like, that's some fake ass shit, man. That's some fake ass shit. 6ix9ine is just mad that Rock Nation probably doesn't want to touch him. You know, 6ix9ine was actually, before he got out of jail, he was telling the label, you better sign me for $13 million. You better sign me for $13 million or else when I get out, I'm going to sign the biggest deal and I'm going to leave you in the dust. Now, the only way 6ix9ine could have got a bigger deal than that $13 million joint is if he had come out of jail, did that live stream with 2 million people, and then signed the deal. That's when record labels would have bought into him right after that. That is when he was at his height, and everybody really bought. If you could have 2 million people log into your live stream on Instagram, your record sales should freaking skyrocket. Your record sale potentials should be through the roof. If you can have 2 million people tune into you for 1 hour of the day at a random time, at a totally random time or whatever, and that day, like that would say a lot to any label. I wouldn't be surprised if he got a $20 million or a $40 million deal for 4 albums. You know what I'm saying? Like some Little Wayne Cash Money shit. I wouldn't be surprised if he couldn't have finagled something like that, you guys. Just being real. You know, but he kind of, he signed a $13 million deal, kind of kicked him in the ass. Yo, Kilo, what's poppin'? He says Young Thug is only worth $8 million. That's what his net worth is right now, bro. And $4 million for Gunna. And Gunna's worth $4 million. Mikey T, what's good, bro? He did not make demands of Rock Nation. He just tried to expose Meek Mill for being signed to Rock Nation because there's somebody that snitched on the label. It's like, yo, are you kidding me right now? You're telling me, listen, no shade at Snoop Dogg. I know he's working with Def Jam right now. Major love to Snoop Dogg. But you're telling me, like, you're saying, like, if Def Jam called me tomorrow, yo, Mikey T, we want you to head the podcasting division at Def Jam Records. What? You're telling me I'm going to get an opportunity to do podcasts with everybody that works at Def Jam on a frequent basis throughout the year? Yes, Mikey T, we want you to come over here to Def Jam and run the podcasting division. I'm in. So you're telling me that I'm not going to take the deal because there's somebody at Def Jam that has snitched before? Like, are you kidding me? Like, that is just childish shit. You know what I mean? That's not gangster. I understand 6ix9ine probably thinks that's gangster, but that's not gangster. You know what I mean? That is what you call stupid. That is what you call stupid. You know what I mean? When you try to actually have your opinion, you know, and you try to base your opinion and put it on everybody else. You're like, yo man, he's working with a rat, and that's not cool. Nobody should. He's trying to cancel Rock Nation. Kurt, what numbers are you talking about, bro? Are you talking about the, I don't know what number you're talking about.
7-10.
Yep.
10-7. Get there. 7-8.
Let me get back into this here. So Wax says, you say it, and if it hits the internet, it starts spreading. Exactly. You know what I mean? If, like you said, they're going to paint the narrative, and dudes say it, and if it hits the internet, it starts spreading. They only released 3 little wiretaps. And we all know in 10 years, they got more than them 3. They're trying to disrupt it. If he has another big bond hearing, they're going to try to disrupt it because he has another bail hearing. So yeah, that's what Wack actually had to say about it. You know, he said they only released 3 little wiretaps, and we all know in 10 years they got more than them 3. And Wack believes at the next bond hearing, or before the next bond hearing, they're going to actually release some pretty damning information. Now, Academics had some interesting stuff to say about this as well. I don't know if you guys were telling that earlier, but he had said, reading the indictment, to be fair, they're sitting in jail because of their own actions. Now, Academics is being brutally honest. He's giving his opinion here. You know what I mean? He's being brutally honest in his own opinion. You know, he's not really letting anything take away from his opinion on topics right now. Why? Because that's what his audience taps into. You know what I mean? They're not tapping in to hear him give a secondary opinion of what somebody else already said. You know what I mean? That's why Academics actually went on the WAC 100's Clubhouse and really called out everyone in the chat. Because, you know, rather than WAC is giving all these people the opportunity to have their own voice and to shine, but they're all just seconding what he says. They're all just agreeing with what he says, and that's why I think Academics is really just coming out here and telling it like it is, because he's honestly you know, like when they say, when 6ix9ine said Hassan Campbell is the biggest blogger on YouTube, you know what I mean? Academics took a little bit of exception to that. I feel like Academics kind of thinks he's the biggest blogger on YouTube as well. You know what I mean? Academics' content is a little bit different than Hassan Campbell's content. Let's get a little, let's get a poll up here. I like it. Let's do a little poll for everybody tapped in right now. I want to know who's the better blogger. I want to know that. Don't worry, you guys. I'm not going to put myself in. I'm not going to put myself in. Who is the better blogger?
Hey, who got here? No. Hey, good boy.
Is it you get Academics, or is it Hassan Campbell?
Oh, get that.
I want to know what y'all think. The put is on you guys. Everybody in here voting the poll right now.
Hey, you can't guard me.
What the hell is that? My bad.
Check ball. Check.
I just need everybody to vote in the poll right now. I want to know who do you guys.
Who's watching here?
Sean, just vote in the chat, bro. That's crazy official. I never heard about that shit with the drones. I never heard about that shit with the drones, bro, to be real with you. Academics is leading Hassan Campbell right now, 75% to 25%. Everybody vote in the poll.
Check it.
Everybody go vote in that poll right now. Show some love. We got 125 people in here. Everybody go vote in that poll right now. Yo, yo, yo.
Yo, yo, check it.
What's up, James Bond? Appreciate you for tapping in.
Who's got ball?
Okay, you blazing on some AK-47, bro? Okay, it's a little old school with it. Damn, Nightman. Yeah, that shit is crazy just to hear that, man. Makes me want to actually read the indictment out, but I might do that on another live. Like I said, if anybody sends a super chat, I'll bring that shit up right now, though. It's got to be a substantial super chat, and I'll bring up the indictment, though. But everybody vote in the poll right now. I don't know, who do you think is the better blogger?
Yo, watch him. Shot.
Damn.
Come on, man, take that.
Everybody vote in the poll right now.
Hey, yo, right there. Oh, hit that.
So Academic said, reading the indictment, to be fair, they're sitting in jail because of their own actions. They were obsessed with violence, just like they were obsessed, just like they were in
No
making
freaking
music.
way I'm losing these
It
guys.
seems like it's a case, and I got more details for you. I know we want to say the cops set them up, and I wonder how the cops got this info, if it's only a record label. Well,
Hey, yo, right here.
well, honestly, I mean, I wouldn't come on here and say, oh man, they were set up, you know what I mean? They were set up, da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. A lot of times it's not a setup, you know what I mean? It's not a setup, it's just inaccurate information. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not going back to that shit from back in the day, oh, they, like from the Chappelle show, and then they drop a little baggie on them, you know what I mean? I'm not running with that. But at some point in an artist's career, they have to prove themselves. You know what I mean? They gotta prove themselves. Look what Snoop Dogg ended up going through just because him and his body defend themselves. They were arrested. They had to prove themselves in a court of law. You know what I mean? There's a lot of circumstances where artists are going to get put through a situation that they've got to beat. The Gotti brothers, you know, Murder Inc., their situation with Supreme. You know, they got brought to court and they were like, yo, your record label proceeds, they're in question. You know what I'm saying? We have an issue with where you got the money from your label. Now we're seeing what's happening with Young Thug. Young Thug blows up as such a major artist, but he didn't necessarily get his label going, and because YSL could honestly be like a Def Jam at this point. You know what I mean? Like Young Thug could have taken the reins from Gucci. You know, from what Gucci did, he got a whole list of artists started up, like 7 or 8 different artists. You know what I mean? Where Gucci legitimately had his business right. He could have had a Def Jam as well. You know, but Young Thug didn't really follow in those footsteps so well. Young Thug more so built his own career up. You know, then he put Gunna on, then rest in peace Keith. You know what I'm saying? He started putting Keith on. What's going on? We got Detroit in the building tonight. Hell yeah, hell yeah.
That wasn't good.
Major salute to Philadelphia Eagles in the building.
It's a freaking steal, bro. Holy shit, look at how little that dude is compared to the other guy.
Salute to you on tackling, bro.
Bro, I was spamming and they broke my ankle.
They said they are charging Young Thug to be the leader of YSL.
Holy shit.
Okay, he's the leader of YSL. You know what I mean? YSL was the young stoner life. You know what I mean? Young stoner life. It kind of started out as like almost like a Wiz Khalifa type of geeky thing. You know what I mean? In my opinion. You know what I mean? Young Stoner Life.
Again?
Maybe they got it a little bit more gangster when they turned it to Young Slime Life. You know what I mean? Because like,
Bruh, he sold 2 times in a row.
Stoner Life was a little bit goofy,
Really?
you know what I mean? Some of the faces that Young
Come
Thug
on.
was making.
This
you know
dude
what I'm
like
saying?
80-something win
Goofy.
percentage too. Why is he
But,
doing that?
Young Thug, I guess, switched it up. You know what I mean? When he started doing everything,
This you got it
literally
back.
with the rich gang. You know what I mean? Go
1914.
listen to some of the songs like Ride. You know what I mean? Go listen to some of those songs.
Why?
But you know, when I say
What's the fucking rush?
sometimes you got to find a way to make yourself appealing. You know what I mean? Sometimes you gotta find a
What
way
the
to make
hell?
yourself appealing. Sometimes you gotta
Really,
find a
what's
way
the
to make
fucking
yourself
rush,
look
bro? Wait for me to
cinematic
get
on
up there.
camera. You know what I mean? Young Thug did it with so many different wearing.
Out of the last 4 plays, he sold 3 out of the last 4 plays.
You know what I'm saying? And wearing the cheetah
He's
print
an 80-something win
dress.
percentage.
You know
What
what
the
I
hell's
mean?
wrong with him?
He almost made himself look like a character in a comic book sometimes. With the way that his hair would be, the way that his teeth would look. Like I said, the expressions on his face. You know what I mean? It was different. You know what I mean? But that's the only way you make it in the industry. You're not going to make it in this industry by being a carbon copy of somebody else. You know what I'm saying? Oh, Jesus, Katie. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, you're right. Was that the Digits single, or was that just the album that Digits was on? Yep, that's true. That's true. Iceberg said YSL are the initials of the luxury fashion brand, and that's why he named his set that. But also his first single was called Stoner, and that's kind of like if you think back to that Gucci Man video where he was smoking a blunt and he actually let Bart Simpson hit his blunt and he was being all goofy in that sense, that's kind of like almost like the persona I was seeing Young Thug with to a certain extent. Like he was that guy, you know, but then he took a more gangster image with it. He put down all the quirky. Once he got on, he put down all the quirky shit. Probably aside from painting his nails.
Bro,
You know what
I'm
I
not
mean?
trying to hang out
He
on
put
this
aside all that
spot.
quirky shit once he made it. And I guess
The
I
whole
could say I
game's
was
done.
happy about that. You know what I mean? Because but
Man, it's
I'm
freaking
actually, I
late,
can't say I was
Jose.
happy about it. I was indifferent about it. Because I had lost interest in Young Thug once he started changing his voice and making that goo-wop home shit. You know what I mean? I really lost interest in him. I guess I kind of like the more quirky Young Thugs when he just started doing whatever he's doing now. NYC slang, yeah. 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 What up, kids back? Appreciate you for tuning in. Marcus says, he was just trying the rock star life. Yeah, well, when you say the rock star life, I think you're talking about like I think you're talking about like some Elton John shit, to be honest with you. Elton John really wasn't into rock and roll. But what type of music was Elton John? Look that up real quick. Yeah, pop, country music pop. Yeah, Young Thug was so eccentric. That's what drew everybody into him, man. You could not help but love Young Thug's music, you guys. As much as anybody wanted to bash him, you know what I mean? You couldn't help but to love the music. The way Birdman put out those first singles, classic. The way Birdman rode him around to all those nightclubs, classic. You know what I mean? Pretty thug. Oh, Marcus, I was wondering who you was talking about when you were saying leave Thug alone. I didn't really think, you know what I mean? I didn't really think anybody was sending any shots. I didn't really think anybody was sending any shots.
What up, though? Who in the chat? Who in the chat?
Young Thug. You know, but, you know, back in the day they did, but everybody really just jumped on. But I haven't really been all that in tune with some of his recent music, guys, just to be real with you. I don't come on here and fake the funk, you know what I mean? I don't come on here and fake it, you know? I'm not in tune with it no more. I'm not in tune with that shit no more. I fell off from Young Thug right when I told you. And that was when he started changing his voice. I fell off from Chief Keef when he started seemingly disconnecting from the music, you know what I mean? Started just putting anything on record. You know, I guess it's kind of like what Drake said. His buzz was so big that he could sell a blank disc.
Oh, mouse in the house. Take that. Take that. Hey, yo, right here.
Who you talking about,
Bruh.
Chesney? You gotta put the name in there so I can read it. So, yeah, Academics got into some epic shit tonight. You know, where basically he went over a bunch of the wiretaps. He went over like 3 different wiretaps that they have of Young Thug actually. You know, DMs, I guess jail phone calls as well. I really can't believe that. Jail phone calls, you guys. You guys gotta be cleaner when it comes to this shit. I'm not even saying they gotta be cleaner, like they gotta be more undercover with it, man. It's like, bro, like, when you're making that much money, you don't need to be doing that dumb shit. Dudes could take care of other people, like, 10 times over. You know what I mean? Dudes could be waking up, eating bacon and eggs and frosted flakes for the next 600 years. But they're too caught up, like Academics is saying, they're too caught up, he says here, let me see. And they are charging Young Thug to be the leader of YSL. And they are saying that he
4-3. Hey, get back, get back. Right here. That's mine. 3-4. Yeah, you can't guard me. 5-4. 4-5. D up on MP.
Oh
find
my
that a little bit
gosh.
hard to believe.
First off, there was supposed to be a switch. Second off, he's rushing the pass too.
Because of the fact that Young Thug tried to clown the game. You know what I mean? But obviously Wack has a little bit of a cloudy memory, or just cloudy vision in general. A little bit of a cloudy vision in general, you guys. Because, you know, it was alleged that Wack didn't even know that Hassan Campbell dissed him for game. You know, he was pretty much saying that he didn't know that they actually dissed him.
Corner.
You know, it's kind of crazy. Oh, he was actually moved CEO? No, everybody was reporting on the bad conditions that Young Thug was facing. They actually called it dungeon-like conditions. You know what I mean? I can't believe that they would have Young Thug housed somewhere like that. You know what I mean? Just housed somewhere in conditions that aren't even sanitary. You know what I mean? I just don't see how that could be accurate. I just hope that wouldn't be accurate. You know what I mean? The guy's locked up right now, but he deserves to have dignity. You know what I mean? Anybody, you know, they deserve to have dignity and shit like that.
Hey, I got your help. Come on.
Take it to the house.
8-9. Right here. Hey, balance it out. Oh, there you go. There you go. Shoot that. That's you. Yellow. 10-9.
Hey, right
Hey,
there.
yo, right here, right here.
Hey, who got him?
Right there, push him up, push him up.
That's all you.
Crazy situation in Buffalo. Some people are trying to tie Benny the Butcher to it because of their whole back and forth. I think that's complete BS. You know what I mean? I don't really think that Benny the Butcher has the time for that type of shit. My opinion, you know what I mean?
Who's got ball?
Just my opinion on that whole situation. I don't really think Benny has the time for that. You know, Benny is at a different place in his life. You know what I mean? And now we're touring, opening back up and shit. He's got paper.
9-12.
Woo! Get your help, get your help. Stay there.
Here we go.
Shot, shot.
12 up. 12.
Get him.
12 up.
Pull up.
12 up.
Oh, fast all day.
Like if you get into a scuffle, you know what I mean? A lot of the times, why do you think you need to cover this part of your head? You need to be able to see this part of your head whatsoever. You know what I mean? Unless you're going to cover this part of your face, and this part of your face,
Wow.
is when it becomes a little bit more of a necessity to actually wear those things.
15-14.
Hey, yo, front him.
What's up, Alicia? She's back. Nightman, nah, I don't be looking shit like that.
14-17.
Start up. And the foul.
14-17.
7-4. Way to take it strong.
19-14. 14-19.
Good boy, baby.
19-14.
Come get it.
Get him. He's open. He's open. I got you up. Which man is that?
Step out.
Get there. Y'all want to shoot it up?
Get there, get there. Hey, nice dunk.
4-10. 10. Shoot up, man. Yo, check it.
Hey, who got him? I see him. I got him. I got him. I see him.
2-0. 0-2.
Getting a lot of alley-oops. Not at first. Let's be real. Not at first. It happened after Benny the Butcher actually built up his name. You know what I mean? It happened after, you know, Griselda had introduced Benny the Butcher as their next big thing.
Fire yourself, fire yourself. Fire yourself. I got baseline.
You know, he really made his name in the game. Let's talk about Canada Talk 3 a little bit. Let's talk about the fact that we The only feature outside of Griselda that we got on there when we're talking about hip-hop is Royce the 5'9". Major salute to Royce the 5'9".
Who's watching here?
You know what I'm saying? Let's talk about that. Benny the Butcher came into the game and got people's attention based on his music. But at a certain point in his career, people were acting like they didn't know who he was. Let's be 100% real. People were acting like they didn't know who he was. So when he came in and he got everybody's attention based on the raps, this is a few years after he went through that phase of nobody knowing who the hell he was. You know, so he came about it a little bit different. It's not like everybody just, yo, I seen Benny the Butcher, he was nothing, you know what I mean? He was nothing, and then I gave him this alley-oop. There's probably a couple people out there with some stories that showed him love early on. Like, I had actually think when I was with him, who was it that I brought up? Maybe Smoke Dizza. You know what I'm saying? I brought it up. I actually did an interview with Benny about it. We didn't have the most people to list off to me. You know what I'm saying? So, in saying this,
He gives our whole little squad, you could tell.
when Freddie Gibbs brought Benny the Butcher onto his show, he let him perform, he let him open up for him. I would like to see if that was before or after Benny the Butcher did the BET cycle. If anybody could get me that date, you know what I'm saying? I think that's something to add to this conversation. You know, Freddie Gibbs also said, why would I want to go at somebody? Why would I have to go at somebody? Why would I go at somebody that I sold more than? He said something along those lines. He said something along those lines. Why would I have to go at somebody who I sold more than or something like that? He said, he basically addressed the fact that he sold 30,000 units. He had sold 30,000 units on the Alfredo album. Benny the Butcher sold 20,000 units. Or before that, Benny might have had another project that he had sold, and it did under 30,000 units as well. You know, that's kind of like a fact that's not really gonna last that long. You know what I mean? You can hit with a little blow like that. You know what I mean? You can hit him with that blow, like how 6ix9ine be like, oh yeah, when my video did 100, my video did 500 million views. Well, what does your new video have, bro? 10 million views? Okay, because my video is gonna end up doing 250 million views. And then you wanna know what? 10 videos from now, I'm gonna have 250 million views. Now you went from 500 million views to 20 million views. Like, look at the factor of it, man. Shit don't be adding up. Benny the Butcher released Tana Talk 4, which is his series that he did when he was a majorly independent artist. This is the series that Benny did when he was a relatively unknown artist, you guys. And now he's bringing it to the mainstream, and he moved 19,000 units of it. You know what I'm saying? Freddie Gibbs, the Alfredo project, this comes after his deal with Interscope, after his deal with Young Jeezy. You know what I'm saying? This is his most up-to-date music. This is the most up-to-date music that he's gonna make. When Benny makes Tana Talk 4, he's dipping into his old bag. He's not dipping into some of these new transitions that the industry wants him to make. That I think we're going to see a lot of when he links up with Snoop Dogg at Def Jam. We're going to see all types of new Benny the Butcher music, you guys. They're probably going to clear the record with Drake. But you know what? J. Cole went to Benny and he was like, yo, I mess with you. I rock with you. Yeah, man. I just wanted to give my take on that whole situation. And it's nothing against Freddie Gibbs. I hope everything is good with him. You know what I mean? He has not addressed any of these allegations about his chain. All the blogs going crazy about Benny potentially having something to do with that. And, you know, there's a lot more pressing issues going on in Buffalo right now, you guys, and that's why I don't think we're getting much of a response out of Benny about this. You know what I mean? There are more pressing situations going on right now. My heart is with Buffalo, as I said. You know what I mean? Because it really just sucks to be tuning in to the internet or onto television and seeing all this news, man. It's really heartbreaking, man. And, you know, I just don't think that hip-hop beef is the #1 priority right now. You know what I mean? But like I said earlier, I don't think this would have been a priority in Benny's life. Anyways, this is a man that's making such an ascent in the music industry. I don't think we would... Benny had said that working with Freddie Gibbs came and it went. You know, Freddie Gibbs kind of took that as an insult.
Come on, I don't get it
though.
though.
Like, Benny the Butcher just climbed up that ladder.
Billy Delaney.
Really quick. You know what I mean?
Yes, sir. Big facts. Long time. No see. How you been, bro?
You know what I mean?
So I stopped streaming for a long while, though.
You know what I mean? Rocking with Eminem and shit, and moving on from there to take meetings with
Just
Jay-Z
started back
and shit
up.
like that. Real big opportunities. Getting shouted out by Drake.
But yeah, long time, bro. How you been? How you been?
Now the comment is what it is, you know. An interviewer asked Benny the Butcher about it, and he said what he said. Sometimes people, like, that is such a little quote, I don't even think it needs to be included in the interview. A lot of these guys out there, you know what I mean, doing interviews, they're gonna keep every piece of content that they get.
Son, the same shit as you, bro.
It went viral.
Just trying to get through it, yeah.
Even though it was
figure things out.
It went viral. You know what I mean?
Taking what's thrown at me and trying to make the best of it.
Yo,
wow, fucker.
Salute to you, brother. I already know, man.
Haven't uploaded music lately, but I got mad music like in the tuck. I be working on music all the time still. Like I said, I'm starting to do this streaming shit again.
Queen, appreciate you. Hope you have a great week as well. Yup. Benny got songs with Prodigy. I actually asked Benny about Prodigy.
Don't leave MP open.
Took the money to
Stay
the
on
plug.
that grind. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Wow. Wide open. You on 2K or what?
Dug out.
You play 2K? You got PS5 yet or what?
Yo, KD. Oh, I'm actually getting some runs ready. I'm actually getting some runs ready right now. I can get some runs ready. You know what I'm saying? I just wanted to tap back in on that Benny the Butcher, Freddie Gibbs situation a little bit. You know what I mean?
Come on.
Gibbs made a comment about the record sales. You know what I mean? Gibbs made a comment about the record sales, which I think is a bit premature. You know what I mean? I think that comment is a little premature. You know what I'm saying? It's a little bit of a premature comment to be making when you're talking about somebody's street tape compared to what you're considering, compared to what are your best record sales. Let's just be point blank, period. You know what I mean? Let's be
I was gonna say, well, I got D+ because of them damn turnovers.
The Alfredo sales were the best sales that Freddie Gibbs ever did. Benny the Butcher moving 20,000, 19,500, whatever the official number was, it was right around there. You know what I mean? I don't have the exact number in front of me. I think if I look it up, it'll say 19,500. But, Benny the Butcher is only moving up from there. The fact that 19,000, and a lot of those were actually, physical sales. Yeah, you gotta take that shit into consideration, man. He got the cheap heat with that, though. Okay, you got one on Benny there. You got him on it now. What about when his Def Jam debut album comes out and he sells 150,000 first week? You know what I'm saying? What about then? You know, 2 years. What about in 2 years when you're eating your words? You know what I mean? Like, that's why sometimes you gotta hold back with comments like that. You know what I mean? You gotta hold yourself back from, you know, okay, I've done so with from 50 Cent comments. You know what I mean?
Who's got ball?
Robert says,
Bruh.
Benny is better, hands
Bruh.
down.
Bruh.
10 up.
Sour tonight, Mike T. Yo, Sour, okay. Sour, all right.
10 to 10. Come on, man.
Who's Freddie,
12
Omar?
10.
Oh, what up, Jamarcus? You're blazing on some shoelace. Tweed? What's tweed? 97%. Yeah, you guys, this is a dope live video tonight. You know, Whack 100 is saying that it's going to be looked at what Young Thug does. He said the pressure is on for Young Thug right now, you guys. Whack 100 is questioning if Young Thug will snitch. What do you guys think? What do you guys think, man? Does Whack 100 really have, you know, like, should he really be questioning this about Young Thug? You know what I mean? Do y'all think that Young Thug is really gonna just turn over, give his career up?
Shit, I try to pass it.
You know what I'm saying? Young Thug has so much more money to get, but a lot of people are gonna say, well, Mike T, he has so much money more to get, but how is he gonna get that money if he's locked up? Young Thug has so much more money to enjoy. You know what I mean? He has so much more money to enjoy, you guys. The simple fact is that Young Thug, you guys, Young Thug is probably, let me see, hold on one second. Young Thug net worth. Someone said 8 million earlier. Wow, it really is only 8 million. I mean, that's a good amount of money to actually want to get out. You know what I mean? That's a lot of money to want to get out of jail to go and spend. You know what I mean? That's a lifetime worth of money. Well, maybe not for Young Thug. You know, Young Thug's got that Mason Bethel issue. Where he's not worth $2 million with $2 million in his pocket.
Wow.
Who the hell would be worth $2 million with $2 million in their pocket? If I had $2 million in my pocket, I would be buying some dope ass shit. You know what I mean? They're like, oh shit, Mikey T just said if he had $2 million, he would be buying some dope ass shit. We are not signing Mikey T now. Cancel out Mikey T's deal. Cancel out Mikey T's deal with Barstool Sports. He just said if he gets $2 million, he's going to be buying some really cool ass shit. What's the problem? I'm going to show you what I buy on the internet.
Come on, man. Take that.
What's the problem? I'll be doing live streams with the Soulja Boy Gucci headband and all that. This dude is wild. Let me see. Yeah, Robert.
Yo, check it.
8 million with 100 acres. I don't know if that whole 100 acre shit is accurate, bro. They be, I'm not hating either, bro. They be, not capping, but they be, embellishing, you know what I mean? They kind of be embellishing a little bit when they talk about shit like that. Is it really 100 acres? You know what I mean? Are they really building a pool party thing, like a water park? You know what I mean? They say a lot of things that they're gonna do, you know what I mean? But we hear people on the internet all the time calling others out for the way that they say they're gonna spend their money, for the way that they say they're gonna invest the money into the community and shit like that. We've heard Young Thug say these things about, you know what I'm saying, setting up a community with a water park. When he was on the Breakfast Club about 6 months ago, or I think it was in October of 2021, you know, he said the only thing that they had built on that 100 acres was a helipad. It was a place to land their helicopter. You know, I see a couple different images. It looked like it was water park ready. You know what I mean? It looked like they could get something going there. That would be sweet. That would be sweet too. It's all good, Omar. It's all good, bro. LOL. And then they woke up. 50 Acres and a Mule. Yeah, that was a film production company, right, DeMarcus? I believe that was a film production.
Hey, who got him? Hit! Hey!
40 Acres and a Mule. Film.
Can't guard me!
Yep.
Coming back at you.
Wow, Spike Lee actually owns that company. Wow, that's dope. Founded in 1979. Okay, that's what's up. Yeah, water park. All around says all Young Thug has now is memories, not up for discussion. I disagree. I think Young Thug's gonna pull through this one. Yeah, Spike Lee. I remember hearing about that company for so long. Like literally back in the day when I used to go to a couple different film critic websites and just read movie reviews and shit like that. Like you guys know I'm a big movie guy film. My brother who actually did Slapface. Have you guys seen Slapface yet or what? Have you guys seen the movie that I'm in or what? I'm gonna put the link up. Just in case anybody in here wants to check out the movie that I'm in. It's a horror movie, psychological thriller. A couple dope actors in it. And I'm in there as well if you want to check it out.
Hey, swing it!
I'll put the Amazon Prime link up because I feel like the majority of people in here will more than likely have Amazon Prime. Let me see right here though, you guys, because I want to check out this poll. I asked everybody, vote in the poll if you haven't. I asked everybody, who is the better blogger? Who is the better blogger is what I asked everybody. We got 46 votes. I'm going to need 50 more people to vote in there right now. Everybody vote in the poll right now. Who's the better blogger? Is it Academics or is it Hassan Campbell? I want to know. Right now, Academics is leading with 67%, and Hassan Campbell has 33%. You know, their content is hella different. You know, everybody knows their content is hella different. Academics pretty much covers all hip-hop. Hassan covers hip-hop. He also covers, you know, real-life shit. You know, like right now he's doing, or tonight he did some broadcast on Buffalo. I believe Doggy Diamonds did as well. You know, salute to those guys, man. They're really impacting the culture. Really giving a voice for, you know, these situations. You know, I'm glad that they're on there, you know, really talking about this type of shit. You know, because they got a moving voice. But if anybody wants to check, if you're like, yo, Mikey T, if anybody out there is like, yo, Mikey T, what's all this cap about? What's all this cap, Mikey T? You ain't ever been in a movie, Mikey T. I'm sick and tired of hearing Mikey T, the movie star. If y'all think it's cap, I want y'all to go check out Slapface right now. I want y'all to go check out Slapface right now. I got it pinned up. I got it pinned up. I need everybody to go look at that.
No!
Whoever watches it, I want to know your review. Whoever watches the movie, I want to know your review.
11-13. We gotta keep shooting.
Sorry, y'all. I'm just rolling up right now. My bad. I'm rolling up. Give me a second. Vote in the poll if you haven't. If you haven't voted in the poll, I want to know who's your favorite blogger. I want to know who is your favorite blogger, you guys. Is it academics? Is it academics, you guys? Or is it Hassan Campbell? That's what I want to know, y'all. Who do y'all got? Just between them. I know there's others. I know there's others out there. You know what I mean? But I'm asking between them because really, 6ix9ine told academics Hassan was the best blogger. And it seemed like an issue had been taken with that. It seemed like academics took an issue with that. Right now. Moderators, but if you see that. I got him right here too.
Way to take it to the house.
17 to 20.
Alright, I'm gonna have to take some people's wrenches. I'm gonna take some people's wrenches because honestly that shouldn't be happening.
20 up.
Fitting to take all the wrenches.
Fire yourself, fire yourself. Shoot it up.
Oh, dude. Yeah, because the people love the live chat. You know what I mean? Everybody loves to speak with each other in the live chat. That's why that's epically annoying, KD. That's why that's epically annoying for everybody. What's going on, though? Everybody keep on tapping in the chat, man. Put your thumbs up. Put those stars up in the chat right now. Y'all forgot, put them stars up for Mikey T. Yeah, that's crazy. It's like one of my moderators is just keep on unblocking them. Sorry, y'all.
Hey, yo, right here. Hey, bust that.
What up, AK Ideas? What was that? I seen in the chat.
Hey, Dad, what are those there?
What's up? What's up? You
Are
might.
those
That's
like
why you
English
hear.
stuff? Well, those look strange.
Finally got that L twisted up. And we good.
Don't forget the glove.
What are you smoking on? What's everybody blazing? Hey, K, what up? What up? What's up? What you doing, man? Yeah, you know that shit can't last for more than 2 or 3 minutes. Lisa says I can't even twist mine.
Corner.
Northern Lights, okay. Oh, damn, Rob, you still got that golden goat?
I got him. Help! 2-0.
Wow.
0-2. Get up to him.
Yeah, that's really sad that someone hates on me that bad. Jamarcus Shugu. Runts. What up, Jalen? What up, Jalen? What's poppin' with you? AK says, cherry runts for me right now. Damn. They make every different kind of runts, huh? They make, I got black runs.
Hey, Theo, right there. 2 to 3.
Yo, Rob, you still smoking on that good shit, man? Sounded like some good shit that you had. What was it again?
Come to me, come to me. What's loud?
Damn, Omar. Oh, really? Damn, they got that. I want to look up and see what that bag looks like. White runts, okay. White runts, all right. White Russian and moonshine, all right. That's right, the golden goat. I had that vape pen a couple times. I legitimately had that vape pen a couple times, you guys.
Yo, watch him.
Alicia says, Mike, you just know this troll shit is a come up. If you weren't piquing interest, the trolls wouldn't be here. Yeah. I don't know what it is, to be honest with you, but yeah, just I'm probably gonna be taking everybody's wrench, just to be honest with you, man. Like, when I see some moderators in here, you know what I'm saying? Because I be doing all the wrench shit, to be honest with you, man. I'm the one who was blocking that troll like 8,000 times. All pro smoking on some regular shit tonight, some of that White Widow.
Who's watching him? Hey, right there. No.
That might be 6ix9ine spamming the chat. That's pretty awesome. That'd be pretty awesome.
Hey, balance it out. Watch out. Hey, yo, right here. Check.
That will be super box. Yeah, I know you ain't really big on the wrench squad, Alicia.
Oh my gosh.
The pole went down. What do you mean the pole went down? The pole's still up. Oh, well, I mean, shit. We all made it through the storm. That was like the perfect storm, you guys. We all made it through the perfect storm tonight. Just the original, bro. Just the original, bro. Just the original, bro.
To the house.
That was a super bot, Jamarcus. So what does that mean, that it was a super bot?
Oh, mouse in the house. Take that.
Damn, man. People is really hating me. It's like, yo, we gotta get this mic. But don't worry, man. Don't worry. That ain't gonna matter. Once I sign my $2-3 million deal, that shit ain't gonna matter. That shit ain't gonna matter. I'm gonna be going through Rodeo Drive doing my vlogs. You know what I mean? Connecting with the biggest artists in the game. So just keep on watching. See how we build with nothing. You know what I'm saying? See how we build with legitimately nothing. You know what I'm saying? And see how we take it to millions. See how we take it to millions. Doesn't matter. It doesn't matter because my shit ain't really all about the chat. My shit is about me jumping on here.
Fuck. What up, Groy?
Giving these impassioned
I ain't
speeches.
seen that name for a long time, yo.
It ain't even about
How you been? How you been?
You know what I'm saying? Because when we get up on here and I'm relaying some information, I'm shutting all these other dudes down.
That's mine. 13-7.
Don't be sending those shots at Vlad TV in my chats, man. What do you mean? Me and Jordan Tower are supposed to be bigger than Vlad TV. You looking at shit like that, man? Vlad is doing great. Jordan Tower is doing his thing. I'm on my way. I'm doing my thing, man. Don't try to send no shade to Vlad. You know what I mean? Like, come on, man.
This nigga's on that shit. Holy moly.
You know what I mean? Like, I'm sending
I bet good. What about you? Shit cooling, bro. Just started streaming again. Took a long break.
Really good. Look what he did for China Mac. You know what I mean? Not saying that the Vlad TV was the end-all, be-all for China Mac.
Cooling, yeah.
But look what he did for him. You know what I mean? He gave
trying to catch some dubs.
China Mac on his platform when
Freaking
China
2K
Mac was
selling.
relatively unknown, more than unknown. You know what I'm saying?
Shooting like ass this game.
More so unknown at that point. China Mac was able to take that shit and build it up to a whole nother level. When you get an opportunity, you gotta run with it, man. What up, what up, what up, what up?
I know, bro. Yes, sir.
It's all good, man. It's all good.
You got PS5 yet and stuff, or what?
Y'all know we're fitting to just be about to be up in an office, and I got the best team behind me as well. I got the best team behind me: video directors, digital content creators, artists.
Bruh.
I got the best
Dude,
team
throw
behind
alley
me.
to nobody.
So when we make it up in the industry, it's just going to be a pure takeover. We just need that. We just need that one team that's going to jump behind us. And then we're going to be taking over every single city. You know what I'm saying? On some music shit. Don't get it twisted.
Check.
Major salute to Lord Jamar. Yup, Lord Jamar. He be doing his thing on his own podcast. I really don't know why him and Vlad fell out. I mean, people are, people should be able to have a conversation.
I knew he was gonna bite for that shit, cause he's itching for me to go to the corner so he'll block me again. He knows I do those fades. I knew I'd get him.
Glad it took a lot of time for them to actually have a conversation, but once they did, they put everything back together. The dream team, baby. The dream team, baby. Yeah, we made it through the storm, you guys. I really appreciate everybody sticking it through it live. You know what I'm saying? People can think whatever they want to think. You know what I mean? But this channel right here, it means so many different things. Oh, if I take out the chat, you know what I mean? Y'all can still listen. I can talk to y'all. You know what I mean? But also, it can't beat us in the way that we interact either. It cannot top us on the way that we interact. It can't top us.
That's a GG.
There's reason. There's reason to hate. You know what I mean? Second says, the movie was decent.
I'm going to hit the corner
really
too.
Fuckers.
That's all.
If anybody in here has not seen Slapface, you want to see me in a film, check it out. I'm actually in there for a short cameo. Y'all can see me there with a new thing and shit like that. It's pretty wavy. Pretty wavy. Wow, Robert says, oh shit, hold on, Robert wants it as well. Robert says, I liked it, 7 out of 10.
Oh, wow.
What was something you liked about the movie Slapface? Can you give me 1 or 2 things that you liked about the movie so I can read them to the chat? And you know what I mean?
That shot horrible.
Alicia says, I saw it, I have to watch it again. Interesting that you want to watch it again. Nightman, I'm next for what? I'm next for what, bro?
Love you too.
When I put my arm here, it feels like weak here.
I'm next for what? Yeah, hold on 1 second. I need everybody everybody in here to follow me on the gram. I want everybody in here that's watching this to follow me on the gram. I'm going to follow y'all back. Whoever follows me right now, I'm going to follow y'all back, you heard? Appreciate everybody for really tapping in on me, man. We have some of the best live discussions on here.
So I don't know what you're talking about.
Alicia says, because you always see something different when you watch a movie multiple times.
That is not sweaty.
Well, let me ask you, did you see me pop in there? Yeah, so whoever follows me right now, I'm going to follow you guys back. Seka says, the young kid, that is August Maturo, he's actually was in the show Girl Meets World, which is the retelling of the follow-up series of Boy Meets World. You know, the whole Corey Topanga thing. Yeah, my brother got the kid August Maturo. Jeremiah Kip got August Maturo to star as Lucas in Slapface. Pretty interesting that he got somebody that was actually had a reoccurring role on the series for a number of years, you know? Yeah, a lot of people are saying that August Maturo could be a star in the future. He's having a good little childhood career, you know, getting an opportunity. He was actually in The Nun as well. He had a scene in The Nun as a child that was possessed, and he did a little bunch of crazy shit in The Nun, and then he actually starred in this Slapface movie, which was his follow-up horror movie, which is awesome. Pretty awesome. If anybody hasn't seen that, go check it out so you can come back and tell me what you thought of it. His brother was played by Michael Manning. Tom. Yeah. Does anybody have any final questions before we get out of here tonight? Omar, you are hilarious, bro. You're about to eat some cereal and ice cream together. You are having a great time. Sounds like you're having a great time. I'm just literally about to probably do a little bit of research, watch a movie, play Mel, and go to sleep. You know what I mean? But you just sound like you're having a blast over there. Oh shit. Alicia's saying she's gonna give a full review tomorrow. Oh Lord. We're gonna get that full review of Slapface tomorrow from Alicia. And I hope to get the full review of Slapface from all of you watching this video as well. You know what I'm saying? I hope that all of you will check it out if you have Amazon Prime. If you don't, it's also on Shudder. If you don't have that, then Google it, Slapface movie, how can I watch it? And you'll find a way to watch it. Or there's got to be a couple others. If you're out of the country, there's a couple streaming services as well. I can't remember off the top of my head. I'll try to get that information for y'all tomorrow. But more importantly, I want to hear what everybody has to say about it tomorrow or the next time we go on live. We're about to get up out of here. Like I said, I want everybody
No, I don't have my phone. I grabbed the wrong phone.
oh shit. Yo, Nightman, hit me on the gram right now. And send me his Instagram, bro.
I'm watching a creepy movie.
Whoever follows me on the gram right now, I will follow back. Everybody in here also, make sure you subscribe to the channel if you're not subscribed already. Make sure you subscribe and hit the notification bell so every time I go live, it will bring you guys to the video and y'all can tap in and we can have this dope conversation together. You know what I mean? We can all have this dope conversation together. I'm usually going over news topics. You know what I mean? A lot of times you'll see interviews, different podcasts, all on this channel. Make sure you tap in with it. This is my Instagram right here. It's Mikey T _ the movie star. Y'all should be able to click it in the chat. Again, whoever follows me, I will follow y'all back right now. I'm gonna follow y'all back right now, whoever follows me tonight. See ya. Woo! We just finished the 4-day wire for Wealth. We got Nike, you know what I'm saying? One of the greatest, like, that put prints on shirts back in the days that done stuff for other people in the industry. He from our building, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, we have some, celebrities that pay for 534 other than just Jay.
What about Xo?
Xo from the other side of the projects, because Marcy has two sides, right? Xo from the other side of the project, so as you see Jay say, we don't walk too much. You know what I'm saying? So they was from a different side, but when it came down to music, man, that shit integrated everybody and shit. But Xo was the name to know from the other side of the projects.
What was school like for you during these times?
Yo, I was a sports fanatic, so school, I never had a problem. I was bored with school. I was always smart to begin with, you know what I'm saying? But what kept me from school, I was just bored with school. Coming up, sports kept me in school. Like, I can't really recall after graduating from public school to junior high. I really can't even recall going back to class after that. I was so good at sports.
Yo, what up, Glock?
Like, the coach used to be like, just show
On the
up.
screen,
Again,
bro.
just show up. Just show up. You know what I'm saying? But school was like, I had it all.
What's good? What's good with you?
Once I hit 15, 14 years old and I got into junior high school, man, it just, I never wanted for nothing in school. I always had the best girls. I always had the best clothes. I always kept money in my pocket. So school for me was just like an easy pass through. And speaking of that, like, that's what led me to Trenton. We'll talk about how I got to Trenton was through school and my basketball skills. My coach really, really tried to look out for me and set me in the best program that I can, because he seen my life turn into the streets. So he gave me an opportunity to place in Trenton. And I got to Trenton, man, they had a good program, but I just, I saw even more opportunity in the streets in Trenton than I did in New York. So I just started, not paying attention to the program and shit. I even had, like, a lot of people that went to the NBA and to the league, to colleges from Trenton. I went to school with them. I was in high school with them. They used to tell me, why don't you just come to the games and play, bro, we can make it. Half of those guys that used to tell me that went on to college and some went to the pros. But in my life, I just chose the easier route. I thought it was going to be an easier route.
What was Jay-Z like in school?
He was in a higher grade than me, right? So, you know what I mean? Because I had changed schools, so Jay was a level of a higher grade than me. So, we didn't never really hang out in school. This was basically all the way, when we get home from school, we'd be together for the rest of the day. But in school, like, everybody doing their own thing, man. He was more like quiet and kept with a different circle. We really didn't bond in school because he associated with a different crowd than I did. Because I didn't know that because I was coming from another school. The person I knew, he was like real gangster hard, young dude that was teaching me the rules. You know what I'm saying? So I hung out with them. I hung out with him to avoid getting robbed from gangs, and he was schooling me because I don't see him. Jay and them go through a lot of problems going to school. I wasn't about to have that. I wasn't having that.
What kind of problems were they going through?
Like, for instance, like Marcy is like 2 blocks from the school, from our projects. The school is 2 blocks up. And during this walk to school, we have to pass these gangs. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of school kids from Marcy used to get stopped by the gangs. They go in their pockets, take their little school money, take their bus passes. And that's the shit that I used to see happen in jail. This was like before I really known him. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, I used to go to school with another guy and shit, but he was just more different. He used to be like, nah, that's not gonna be us. That's not gonna be me. You see, they don't mess with me. You know what I'm saying? For these obvious reasons, because I'm in fight. You know what I'm saying? So he started teaching me, you know what I'm saying, how to be hard and conduct myself and not be a punk type of shit. So I was going to school with him. It's funny that he did approach us one time and shit. My boy, he like showed out so much, you know what I'm saying? It was like 3 or 4, it was like 4 of them and just me and him. And my boy like, yo, hold my book back.
Where's the dog?
You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna fight all of you.
Come here, get him in.
He like flipped the game on him and shit, you know what I'm saying? Like I was like, instead of them just jumping us, like he flipped the game so hard, like, yo, you know what? Hold my bag, Hayden. I'm gonna fight you, and you and shit, you know what I'm saying? So it ended up, they all got scared and shit. It was like, yo, listen, bro, we cool, we ain't gonna do this. And once I saw that, you know what I'm saying? And once he showed me that, you know, just don't back down, you know what I mean? I never looked back from there. So that was my principle. And when I got to meet Jay and found out he was in my building, he lived in my building, just told me, yo, come screw with me, we'll be good. You know what I'm saying? Don't worry about it. We know my cousin and shit, and everybody see my face. From there, I pretty much had a pass to go to school from there.
So you guys were like really young, like this is like elementary school?
Yeah, elementary. 5th grade, 4th grade, yeah.
How much of an age difference is it between you and JC?
He's 6 months? No, December, yeah, 6 months apart.
Growing up, we all know you guys both played basketball. At what age did you guys start getting involved in, you know, deeper into the streets and everything?
We'll say, for me, 13, 14, I would say for me, I always been around it to know what was going on. You know what I'm saying? So when I had an opportunity presented itself to me, and I ended up finding some drugs. Like I said, I seen how it works, but I didn't know the true details. I knew enough to know how to bag something up and sell it. I seen that much, you know what I'm saying? And when I did that, when I found some drugs and I did that, I created a clientele for myself. You know? So that was my first encounter with my own drugs. And I'm talking about, I ain't know nothing more other than just to, like I said, bag it up and sell it. I'm still giving away more. I ain't use no scale. I use my eyes. You know what I'm saying? To me, bagging up a couple of $100 worth of drugs was good enough for me. You know, not thinking, when we spend this money, where am I gonna get more? I ain't had none of those stories. You know what I'm saying? I'm just like, yo, I found this shit, Jay. Let's get rid of this shit. So, you know, that was my first encounter. And after that, like I said, it created a clientele. And when I finally ran out of drugs, I'm like, yo, I don't know what to do next and shit. And I was going to the store and shit. And one of the guys from the neighborhood that raised me and shit, one of the Spanish guys named Spanish Jose, he pulled me to the side. And was like, look, you know what I'm saying? I hear you made a name. You making noise in here. But I'd like to, you know, work with him. And once Spanish Jose, man, I never looked back. 35 years, I never looked back.
What was it like for you right there during the beginning? Were you just like, you know, hustling out of Marcy, out of your spot?
Nah, I mean, like I said, I already had created a clientele. That clientele, and then I knew the right people to stop me from getting harmed while I was doing it. So I never had a problem with that. A lot of OGs used to look out for me, safety-wise. And then, and just in the game, I just learned to be more learn more and more and more and become more of a boss of making my own money. You know what I'm saying? Even though I was still doing that, I still kept my paper route. I still kept I still kept guys packing bags for me. I still ran numbers. Like, I was just always attracted to money. And everything I like learned, I kind of like just passed on to Jay. He was right there with me.
I'm on fire. That's all.
At what point, yeah, this was gonna be my next question. At what point did Jay-Z come into it? You know, he mentions you in quite a few songs where he's, you know, they even introduced me to the gang. You know what I'm saying? Like, quite a bit.
Yeah, he came in the part that I found the drugs. When I told you I found my first I found the first drugs that I had that was mine. He's been, you know, from there he been. I mean, I had found that in the back of the rental car, the drugs. And it was through a girl that I met at one of Jay's. We went to a talent show. You know what I'm saying? And this is on record. We went to a talent show and Jay did a battle up there and shit. And L was there. L was like, yo, you nice, shorty. Like, he gave Jay his flowers then. This is before anything. You know what I'm saying? Really, Jay won that, but they just gave it to a Queens dude anyway. But at that concert, I met some girls and shit back there. And one of the girls, I don't know if her father was like a big time dealer. She came around and I found a whole bunch of drugs. Like, yo, Jay, we don't move this. So that's when he came in. He came in and I showed him the same thing. We just was spending money, shopping every day. Spending money, shopping every day. You know what I'm saying? And not thinking about, like I said, I didn't have a clue on where I was going to get some more or how else, you know, where it's going to come from. But, you know, it's just like, it's just another opportunity opened up. You know, Spanish Jose approached me.
And Jay-Z was rapping at this time already? Right from when you met him?
Nah, he was playing with it. He was playing with it back then, you know what I'm saying? You gotta understand, it was really new. But he was playing with it then, you know, shifting words and playing with it. And it really started to come into play right when we started to move the train. Jay was getting really swift with the pen. Otherwise, you know, all the years prior, I would be in, you know, I'm the guy that's banging on the tables. I'm the guy that's doing the beatbox. We doing that shit all night. Like, you know, I saw that shit from its rawest forms when he started that, bro. I'm talking about picking up bits and pieces of paper with little scribbles and shit, man, all that shit. Yeah, and it's an honor to be a part of that time right there, to know that. To be there and see that. And that's why it's not surprising to me where he at now and the gift that he has now. Because I seen it in him way back then.
Was there anybody else around you guys when this was going on?
Nah, actually, you know, we stayed together for a while, just him and I until, you know what I'm saying, we picked up, you know, my uncle, and then we picked up my other friend and shit, and we became a team. And we started moving out of town. That, you know, we just started getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And it gave him more things to see and more things to talk about. And this, everything that's going to lead up to this will be the reason we got.
Who's watching here?
You mentioned he entered the talent contest.
Yeah.
With LL Cool J was one of the judges?
Yeah.
And he should have won the talent contest.
He should have won. L said that too, that, you know, you should have won it.
Bruh.
Gave it to somebody else.
That must have been pretty crazy for him right there with LL Cool J. I mean, he was probably like the man. He was the man.
He was the man back then, so, you know, I don't know if that gave Jay a lot of inspiration.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Or that gave him losing that, gave him more ambition. You know what I'm saying? But, you know, I was just like, yo, I didn't even stay that long for the show. I was out doing something else. When I came back, L was standing in front of us like, yo, he's dope, bro. I'm like, damn. But that's been like that ever since I know him, man. Anybody I put him up against back then, he would just destroy them.
What were
Man, it was about who had better bars, man. Who made it make sense. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's where Jay had to jump on. You know what I'm saying? Because he was crafty with the words, and then putting it the way he was putting it together, and making it sound. He was just crafty with it. Like you could tell when they tell somebody naturally, they got that shit naturally. That's the gift that he had.
Did Jay-Z take rap serious at the time, or was it just more like a hobby?
Well, that shit was more like a hobby. He took it serious.
16-2.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it was like a hobby because that was that's what he did on his pastime. But it came up to that, and it was took it serious if he had to go, shoot somebody down, or he's gonna be serious about it. So, that's just how he used to carry it.
I heard that, like when during that time, like dudes would like go from project building to project building, like battling like the best rappers from the project building. Is that something you guys did?
Nah, really, because once that era, there was a change of era. We left New York. We gotta understand, we left New York in 88, 89. I left in 88, came back and got Jay in 89. So it wasn't a lot of street battles in the city for him. You know what I'm saying? But out of town, like I said, Trenton and other places, it was just like, yeah, go battle this nigga, or nigga don't want to battle. They was just really, I could get a crowd around him just to hear him spit. Like, he didn't even have to be battling anybody. You know what I'm saying? They just like, yo, what you got now? Yo, what you wrote? And he'll be like, yo, check this out. You know what I'm saying? He just go from there. The funniest shit is, like, I really seen was when Memphis Bleak came to him. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm like, yeah, no, Memphis Bleak, yo, I'm ready for you type of shit. And ready for me? Me? You know what I'm saying? That right there was, I thought, was the funniest shit. And I think that created a love for Bleak and J.I. that moment. You know what I'm saying? To be like, yo, shorty, I just like the fact that he came at me. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's the love that he started with Bleak. After I seen that one, that was the funniest shit. Gave him just enough to be like, yeah, I get it. Man, I'll go back with my pen and keep trying this, but not knowing when you go back with his pen, he's way advanced still. He ain't gonna stop. But yeah, that was dope. Yeah, Bleak tried me.
Now, were him and Bleak already good friends at the time, or they just know each other?
Yeah, we was all from the same building and shit. You know, we like I said, our families grew up, so it was nothing to see Bleak in the hallway with Panthers. I used to see him in the hallway at Panthers because I was mad cool with Dre, his brother. You know what I'm saying? So it was nothing good. Bleak was definitely a part of this.
Is there anybody famous that we might know about that you've seen him battle?
Yeah, I seen him battle? Nah. I mean, besides Wise Intelligent, that was one of the best ones that I missed, but I set it up. You know what I'm saying? You can go online and see that. Wise Intelligent from Trenton. They used to always tell me when we was in Trenton, they used to always tell me about Wise and shit from out north side. In the projects, like he was the best, he was the best, he was the best, he was the best. They used to tell me, yo, I'm gonna go get my brother once I see him. So I had seen him and shit. I said, all right, I'm gonna be right back. And I go across town and get Jay. I'm gonna say I dropped Jay off in the middle of the project. Went down, went and sped off, went and took care of my business. By the time I came back, Jay was already walking over. Meet me in the corner.
jumped in the car and shit. And I'm like, you know,
Damn, that's pretty deep.
like, you good? He's like, yeah. I said, everything all right? Like, yeah. I said, what happened? He just gave me a look like, what you supposed to do? Like, so I didn't really get to hear about it from him, but afterwards I heard from everybody out there like, yo, the brother smoked him. But Wise gave him some, you know, some heat though. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, I think when people hear a different style, because they wasn't used to Jay's style. Because Wise was nice. He was part of the Poor Righteous Teachers. He was nice. He was, you know. But it's just the fact that Jay just brought a different style that had everybody amazing.
Was he always spitting real fast from the beginning?
Nah. But when he done it, you can understand and you can hear it clear. You get what I'm saying? Like, I noticed the change. I guess it changes with the time or whatever. But he always did it to a point where you can understand it. You can hear it clear. You know what I'm saying? So that's. And then I heard it from Jazz prior to that. Jazz always used to do that. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, it was a style that I think Jay caught from him. And as you know what I'm saying? He put his twist and his voice to it. That shit sound righteous.
What are you thinking during all this? You know what I'm saying? Like, at this point, hip-hop isn't this big, huge business that it is now. You know, and you know, you kind of got your other business that you're doing really good at. But, you know, Jay-Z got this incredible talent. And he's, you know, destroying everybody with battles. Are you like thinking there's a future for this, or?
I'm thinking that, I'm not thinking that it's a future for it, but I'm thinking that this is what's popping now. You know what I'm saying? Financially wise, you're not thinking that it's a future for it because they wasn't getting any money. You understand? So my investment was just, yo, this is just what he liked to do. You know what I'm saying? This is the people he liked to hang out with. You know what I'm saying? Because we already had money going into this. But I'm like, yo, they don't have more than what we had, so I don't see a future in it yet. You know what I'm saying? So my investment was just that's who he was to me, and I like hearing my people, you know, in the studio. But did I think there was any money in the future for that? Because we used to be around all of those dudes. I used to be around most of those guys. I know what I had, they didn't have what I had, so I knew it wasn't money in it back then. You know what I'm saying? The only people that was really I seen that was getting money that we was around was King and EPMD and all of those guys that was at the top of their game. Other than that, man, there wasn't nobody really in the game getting the money for me to be like, I would have put my money to this because I didn't see it going that far.
You mentioned Big Daddy Kane and EPMD. You know, you guys were around these guys?
Yeah.
You know them?
Yeah.
Just from Jay-Z's talent?
Yeah. You gotta understand I don't recall how Jay met Kane. I don't know if it was through Jazzo or whoever, or Clark Kent. But it's still his platform that far for him to meet it. And then once he met Kane, it was all about them two going on tour. And, you know, while they doing that, I'm still doing this. Like I said, and I'm still paying, still supporting that. So, you know, like I said, it really wasn't that much money. We was around.
Bruh. Really?
Prince Marky D, Salt and Pepper, Fresh Gordon, that used to do the beats for all the Fat Boys. So, like, I've been around this shit before all of this shit was going on.
Damn, that's what's up, man. You mentioned him going on tour with Big Daddy Kane.
Yeah.
Was that like his first big experience in hip-hop?
Nah, I think going out to London with Jazz was bigger than anything he ever imagined for himself at that time. You know what I mean? That tour shit, he was already groomed. You know, he was going through a grooming process when Kane took him out.
Bruh.
And you mentioned you moved to Trenton at one point.
Right, so it was my basketball coach. basketball coach.
18.
He sorted out
Keep shooting.
he wanted me out the city, so he found that in Trenton. And I had family in Trenton, so which made it easier for me to do. But when I got to Trenton, so that shit turned me up. You know. Now I'm around a whole bunch of kind of hot hustlers.
Yo, check it. Hey, who got him? Hey, pick up MP. I'll take it. Check ball, check. Check that, you open. Hey. Foul. Check, here we go. No. Switch! Don't forget to go! Step out! I see him! I got him! I see him! 2-0! 0-2! Oh, foul!
Your lane where we working.
Check it!
And I'll never forget one of the biggest dudes down there. Just took me under his wing and was like, I'm gonna show you some next level to this shit. Because I was just basically in the street doing my runs and twos out there. But older G just took advantage, just took me and was like, yo, took me in his wings, like, I'm gonna show you some shit. He started bringing me back to New York, but I was going up back in Washington Heights, really seeing Colombians. It wasn't about no more bullshit buying capsules on the street. You know what I'm saying? This is like what you see in the movies. You know, it's Colombians behind the door, ain't nothing in there but fucking scale, coke, and guns. And here I am, I'm 17 like this. Like, oh shit. You know what I mean? This is what it is. He taught me how to buy my shit uncut, raw, how to cook up. Like, once OG taught me that from Trenton, it just elevated to another level.
And you guys are both going to high school at this time.
Yeah, we both had left high school, man. Like, Jay got to a point like it's not even worth going back to New York, going to school. Because mind you, when he was in high school, he went to school with Buster and Biggie and all of them. They was all in the same high school. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, but we was in Trenton getting money. You know what I'm saying? So Jay just after a while, he was just like, yo. You know what I'm saying? Our families trusted us. You know what I'm saying? They trusted us with choices that we made. Like, you know, yo, y'all 17, take a kid, big responsibility, so it ain't nothing they can tell us about going to school. We coming home, we putting food on the table, we taking care of mom. That's what we thinking. That's what the whole thing was for. This is what we've done. Take care of our families. So we turning up. Forget school.
You mentioned him going to school with Biggie and Buster. Were you around during any of that?
Yeah, I used to go up there and get him. I used to go up there and hang out. You know what I'm saying? I was there. I used to sit and be in the lunchroom with them and that shit. Watching them battle sometimes and shit. You know, all that shit is classic. That's why a lot of people didn't know that.
So Biggie, Buster, and Jay, they used to hang out in high school?
They ain't hang out, but they all was in the same school. They would be in the same lunchroom. They would be rapping and shit like that. But they wasn't hang out buddies, but they knew who each other was. So fast forwarding it, they wasn't, you know, strangers to each other when they met in the industry.
By yourself, by yourself.
Sounds like they would have been like, you know, like the main, you know, guys in high school that were rapping. You know, like the most talented, they would have all stuck out.
Yeah, I mean, it's just ironic how they all became successful from different routes.
Yeah. Okay, well, so you guys are in Trenton. Do you have any, like, wild stories from this time? You know, being out there, or, you know what I'm saying, from Marcy or anything you can share with us?
Yeah. I mean, I got plenty of stories. One is not bigger than the other. They all, like, wild stories. I just had a great time when I was hustling when I was hustling. I had a great time. I seen it all, I've done it all, and I seen where I'm at now is not to glorify none of that. You know what I'm saying? Because this is why I'm here doing these interviews, to talk about really the impact that all of that shit do. Like, we could sit and talk about the flyest chains and all the cars that I bought and the millions of dollars that I went through, but people never seem to get the story of what that shit cost me. You know what I'm saying? My friendships with one of my best friends, you know what I'm saying? It cost me that. It cost me losing family. People went to jail. People died. Like, none of that shit is seen when we glorifying all this. You know what I'm saying? So this is why I do what I do with these interviews. I don't want people to be like, yo, that shit is hard. I want you to learn from everything I'm telling you, bro. The stories of having those cars, there's not really too many cars I didn't have. And Jay tell you we've been spending money since '88. You know what I'm saying? All this is true story. You know what I'm saying? And this is why I say Reasonably Doubt, one of the best albums. It's one of the best albums that changed the culture for the hustling game. You know what I'm saying? It's about my life. That's what's so unique. You know what I'm saying? But, like, you know, there's a downside to that shit. And that's why, you know, I like to do this and talk about that too, both sides. You know what I'm saying? People be like, yo, when the last time I talked to him? I seen him. You know what I'm saying? I ain't seen him since '98. You know what I'm saying? We've been going through these situations for a while. You know what I'm saying? On record. I don't know how much detail you know. Like I said, I think you have a younger generation of followers. So this goes back 30 years with our history. You know what I'm saying? It goes back 25 years just on record. We haven't stopped talking to each other in over 25 years. You know what I'm saying? From Reasonably Doubt, Black Album, so many albums he's been talking that people don't know that this has been a conversation. You know what I'm saying? And then this last thing on Drake album that he just done. Yeah, but that's just like the end, but it's so many, you know, there's so many different other records and albums, man, that over the years that people just